In this video, you will learn the basic rules for identifying adverbs in sentences. By definition, adverbs modify verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. Take some time to memorize this definition. Students often say adverbs modify verbs, but when they say that, they're only 1/3 correct. Adverbs also modify adjectives and other adverbs. Adverbs are going to answer the following questions. Use these not only to help you find the adverbs, but to help you figure out what is being modified by the adverb. Where, when, how, and to what extent. When do you eat Cheerios? Sometimes we eat Cheerios. Sometimes tell us when we eat. Where did everyone gather? Everyone gathered outside. Outside tells us where he gathered, so it's modifying the verb gathered. How did Ted speak? Ted spoke softly. Softly is telling us how Ted spoke, so it's modifying the verb spoke. To what extent had her accent disappeared? Her accent had completely disappeared. Completely is modifying the verb phrase had disappeared. All the previous examples show adverbs modifying verbs, but adverbs can also modify adjectives and adverbs. Adverb modifying an adjective. After running home, the children were quite tired. In this sentence, quite tells us to what extent the children were tired. Tired is a predicate adjective modifying children. So quite modifies tired, an adjective, and therefore is an adverb. Here's an example of an adverb modifying another adverb. We very frequently stopped by the lake to enjoy the view. In this sentence, very tells us to what extent we frequently stopped. Frequently is another adverb that describes to what extent or when we stopped. So because very describes frequently, which is an adverb, it too is an adverb. Copy the following sentences, underline the adverbs. Draw an arrow to the word each adverb modifies. Determine whether the word being modified is a verb, an adjective, or an adverb. Once you've copied number 1, go to the next slide to copy sentences 2 through 4. Then pause the video so that you can do the work on your own before you hear the answers. Number 1, the movie's soundtrack nearly made me dance in the aisle of the theater. Number 2, the evenings have become rather chilly. Number 3, thunderstorms can strike very quickly. And number 4, the rather lethargic squirrel is not interested in the very excited acorn. Number 1 only has one adverb. The movie soundtrack nearly made me dance in the aisle of the theater. In the sentence, nearly is telling us to what extent it made me dance. Made is a verb, so the word modifying a verb is an adverb. Number 2 also has only one adverb. The evenings have become rather chilly. In this sentence, rather tells us to what extent the evenings are chilly. Chilly is a predicate adjective that describes the evenings. So since chilly is an adjective and rather modifies chilly, rather is an adverb. Number 3 has 2 adverbs. Thunderstorms can strike very quickly. Words that end in ly are very often adverbs, so it's good to be on the lookout for those. Quickly tells us how thunderstorms can strike. So it modifies that verb phrase can strike. Since it modifies a verb, it's an adverb. Very tells us to what extent They're quickly striking. So since quickly is an adverb and very modifies quickly, it is also an adverb. Number 3 has 3 adverbs. The rather lethargic squirrel is not interested in the very excited acorn. In this sentence, rather tells us to what extent the squirrel is lethargic. Lethargic is an adjective describing squirrel. So rather is an adverb modifying the adjective squirrel. Is interested is the verb phrase here. Not tells us to what extent the squirrel is interested. So it's an adverb. And very tells us to what extent the acorn is excited. Excited is an adjective modifying acorn. Since very modifies excited, an adjective, very is an